The relationship between business development and events is like a marriage, and like any marriage, communication is extremely important. So we loop each other in as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. Most attorneys will go right to BD, tell them what they want to do, and they'll strategize. Sometimes they come right to events, and we need to put the brakes on. We'll chat with them for a little bit, talk about date, venue, location, things like that. And then we will quickly pass into BD to talk about strategy and targeting and how they're going to build their list and all those other details that are critical. So I think communication is extremely important, and if it doesn't happen right away, you're doomed.
Right away, they want to start talking about, where are we going to have it, and what's it going to look like? And it's like, let's take a step back. Why are we having this event? Do we need to have this event?
You get an attorney that is so focused on the menu that they lose sight that they haven't invited a single person to the event.
I try not to share too much of the specific details with the lawyers involved, which easier said than done. But their focus should be on, reviewing your list and making sure we're inviting the right people. And once that's done, how are we going to connect with those people? Not what's the menu look like, and things like that.
I also try and get to them before they get to me. If I can get to an attorney and tell them exactly what's going on and what I planned and what I think is going to happen and how it's going to shape up and look and all that, it calms them down so they don't start thinking about the nitty-gritty.
Some of the things we've tried, starting off meeting with the maybe 5 key attorneys that are going to be involved in the event, asking them, what is your top 10 that you would love to get at this event? Why? What do you know about them? Let's make sure they're on the list. Are you doing personal follow-up? And then touch pointing, with them throughout. And then if they attended, going back to that original list that we started and saying, did they come? What have you done?
Building lists are so difficult, and if you don't have complete buy-in, it's also questionable whether we'll do the event again next year. That's one of those things that kind of hang over their head. Mm-hmm. If we don't have you participate, we're not going to do this next year.
It's all based upon the attorneys too, how much effort they really want to put into this. You run into a lot too if it's an event you do year to year to year. They don't want to put that extra effort into. They say we get 100 people in the door. Why does it matter what we're doing? And it matters to us because we need to be able to sell it for next year. Because each event, it grows every year, so you're getting more and more people, more money, that sort of thing.
I mean, my lesson learned is the thing that I talked about constantly, which was making sure ahead of time who are making these decisions and putting a timeline and budget in place, because early on I've gotten caught up with the just running forward with planning an event, and then you have to put the brakes on it, and you're like, whoa, well, I may have made promises that now I can't follow up on, and I'm in an awkward position. So it's just really taking a step back and thinking about, again, why are we doing this? Who am I working with? Who's paying for it? What are the objectives? Before you because planning an event can be fun sometimes, and you can get caught up in that. But it's like, take a step back and think about the business reasons why you're doing it and who you need to support you, so that if things do kind of get out of hand, that you can rely on them for help.
Communicating with your peers is one of the most important things I learned, and involving BD as early as possible, and working together on a common goal, and letting each other know where we are in the process as well. I try and keep the BD folks involved in the nitty-gritty, because they are, like you said, on the front line, and they're going to be asked the questions before I will, maybe, from the attorney. So just keeping each other informed and involved in each other's worlds, I think, is really important.
I definitely agree with all of that. I think one of the biggest lessons I learned was educating the attorneys themselves about our processes. You can't use, we have an interaction, we have a CRM system. We use interaction for a reason, so we can monitor RSVPs and that sort of thing. We've had a few attorneys go rogue and use their own invitation systems, paperless post, that sort of thing. And next thing you know, we think 50 people are coming to an event, and actually 100 people are coming, but we didn't know about that 50 extra. So I think, a lot of times we forget to even educate the attorneys, because this could be their first time planning an event, and they're not aware of why we do what we do. It's not just because we're sticklers to the rules, but there is a whole reasoning behind it. So sometimes we'll try to get on a call if it's a brand new attorney or a brand new practice group that's doing an event, and kind of explain that process and go through our checklist and tell them the timelines and why, we want 6 weeks to 8 weeks to plan an event, not a week, things along that line.
Right.